Good morning, boys and girls. I wanted to just go over what we learned yesterday. Yesterday, boys and girls, we learned what an immediate family was. We learned what an extended family was, right? We also learned how families can be more diverse. We learned how they could be different, right? So some people might have families that are similar or alike, right? Alike meaning that they are similar or the same. But some families might have family members that live with them that might be different, right? It means that that's the opposite or it's not the same. Okay, so keep in mind, boys and girls, that everybody could have different families. So our aim for today is how are families alike or different. Let me show you what I mean. Boys and girls, we have an apple and we have an orange here, right? Let's talk about how these two pieces of fruit are alike and the same. Alrighty, we have an apple, right? And we have an orange. We could say that they are the same because they are both fruit. We could also say that they are the same because they are both round. Now, a difference can be here is that they're different colors. Maybe they even taste different. So as you can see, they both have some similarities. They are both alike in some ways, and they're also different in some ways. Well, today, boys and girls, we're going to learn how our families and the people who live in our homes are the same and different. We're going to do this by using a graph. Okay, so this graph here is going to represent who lives in our homes with us. All right, so some children here might have parents who live in their home, right? Parents or grandparents or whoever is taking care of them are considered those their parents. So want you to watch me as I graph the people who are living in my home, and then we're going to try and do some together. Watch me how I fill out this graph. Okay, so the bottom row here is going to list the people who live in my home. So on your graph, boys and girls, the first line here is going to say parents. The next one will be brothers. The next one will be sisters. And as of yesterday, we did say that pets, boys and girls, are considered part of our family. So we did include that on our graph. We have grandparents, right? We have aunts and uncles. We have cousins. Okay, so we did say sometimes parents, brothers and sisters, they are our immediate family. And perhaps grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins are our extended family. Boys and girls, I also left 3 blank spaces because since our families are so diverse and since our families are so different, there might be other people living in your household as well. Let me tell you what I mean. For example, I have stepchildren, so I could put on this box that I have stepchildren and how many stepchildren live with me. So you might have somebody different living with you. Maybe you have a friend, or maybe your mom has a friend, or your dad has a friend. So you can also include that on your graph. So each one of your graphs, boys and girls, are going to be different. Okay, so watch me as I graph, and then we're going to talk about what our next steps will be. So in my household, I do not live with my parents. So my parents do not live with me. However, I do have my 2 brothers that live with me. So on this side of the graph, there are numbers 1 through 9. Each number, each box here represents how many people live in your house of that particular family member. So if you have 2 parents, you would shade in box 1 and box 2. I, however, do not live with my parents, so I'm going to move to the next column. So the next column, brothers. I have 2 brothers, so I'm going to color in 2 brothers. This, boys and girls, this graph is going to help us visualize and see how similar and how alike our families are amongst the kids in our class. Alrighty. Unfortunately, I do not have any sisters at all, so I can't shade in that box. I'm going to move to the next box. Pets. Pets are my favorite. Some people consider pets part of their family. I do, and some people don't. It depends on your thoughts. Alrighty? Well, boys and girls, I have one dog, I have a cat, and I have a fish. So together I have 3 pets. Now, if you want to list them separately over here, if you have room, you're more than welcome to do that. But we do have a column for pets, and I do suggest that you just add up how many pets you have. And then perhaps later on, when you turn and talk to your partner, you can let them know what type of pets that you have. But for this activity, we're really just trying to see how many people have pets in their home. Alrighty, so since I have 3 pets, I'm going to shade in 3 boxes right here. Alrighty. And I do not have any grandparents that live with me, although I wish I did. I do not have any aunts or uncles that live with me, and I do not have any cousins that live with me. However, I am going to shade in that I have stepchildren in this box, and I will shade that in. I'm going to choose a different color so I could see my chart, and I have 2 stepchildren. So I'm going to shade in 2 boxes. Boys and girls, thumbs up if you see what I just did here. How this graph represents the people who live in my household. And it represents both extended family and it also represents immediate family. Thumbs up. Good job, boys and girls. You're going to have a chance to turn and talk to your partner about who lives in your house. Maybe some of the pets you have, maybe how many girls and how many boys live in your home. So you could go ahead and do that right now and turn and talk to your partner. Very good, boys and girls. At the bottom of your page here, you're going to see a bunch of questions. Once you are done completing your graph of how many people are in your household, you're going to switch papers with your partner and you're going to answer your partner's questions on the bottom of your partner's page, and your partner is going to answer the questions on your page. Let's go over. I'm going to show you what I mean. You're going to watch me, and then I'm going to send you off to work independently, and then you could switch your papers and answer your questions. All right, so boys and girls, question number 1. It says, what is the total number of people who live in my home? Boys and girls, for this activity, we're going to count our pets because we all agreed yesterday that pets are part of our family. All right, so let's count the boxes. The boxes will show us how many people we have all together, right? All together, the total, that means all together, boys and girls, the total of number of people that live in our home. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I forgot to include myself. I live in my home and my husband. So I'm going to put Mom and I'm going to put Dad, meaning me and my husband. So I'm going to shade in this box and this box because we can't forget about us. So let's recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So boys and girls, who can tell me how many people I have living in my home with me? Very good. 9 people. So I'm going to jot down the number 9 right here. Now, how many siblings do I have living in my home? Let me see. Siblings. Well, I have 2 brothers living in my home, but I have no sisters. So boys and girls, how many siblings? We said siblings were either brothers or sisters, right? So how many siblings do I have? Very good. I have 2. We just discussed this. Our next question, how many pets do I have? Who can tell me how many pets I have living with me? 3. Very good. Who can remember what I have living with me? What kind of pets? That's right. I have a dog, a cat, and a fish. Awesome job. Next one. How many girls live in my home? This could be tricky. Remember, you're going to turn and talk with your partner before you answer these questions. So some of you might know if the pets are a boy or a girl. Some of you might not know if your pet is a boy or a girl. But you could go ahead and discuss that. Alrighty, so let me see. How many girls do I have living in my home? Well, my stepchildren are girls. So there's 2. And I'm a girl. So there's 3. And my dog and my cat are girls. So there's 5. The total number of girls living in my home is 5. So I'm going to jot that down right here. Awesome. Now how many boys live in my home? Let's see. Well, I have 2 brothers, so that makes 2. If it helps, you could even put the number above here if that helps you. So I have 2 boys in my home. Oh, my husband, Daddy. There's 1, right? So there's 3 boys in my home. And I have a fish that's left over. But boys and girls, I don't know what my fish is. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. Not too sure. So we can't add that because we're not 100%. So I have 2 brothers and 1 husband. So I have 3 boys living in my home. Boys and girls, thumbs up if you see how I just did that. Good job. All right, boys and girls, when you go off to your seats, you're going to turn and talk to your partner first about who lives in your home. Talk about your immediate family members, your parents, your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, your pets. Then go on and talk about the extended family. Do you have any extended family members living in your home? Do you have any grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, right? Anything that you have, anybody that you have living in your home, you're able to add right here to your personal graph. When you're done talking about the people who live in your home, I want you to go ahead and grab your crayons out of the bin in the middle of your desks, and I want you to go ahead and shade in quietly and independently your members of your family that live in your home. When you hear the bell go off, you're going to exchange your papers, you're going to answer your questions, then we're going to come back to the floor, boys and girls, and we're going to share our graphs and our answers. And we're going to see, as a class, as a whole, how our families are alike and different.